This is One on One. We are pleased to be joined by Shah Dabiri, who is a STEM Technology Manager, U.S. Army Armament Research, Development, and Engineering Center at Picatinny Arsenal. Good to see you, Shah.
Pleasure to meet you.
You know, you're here to talk about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and
mathematics.
Math. And the other piece of this is something called ARDEC STEM. ARDEC stands for?
ARDEC stands for Armaments Research Development Engineering Center.
What the heck is that altogether? And that center brings together what kind of people?
ARDEC is located at Picatinny Arsenal on Route 15 North, right off Route 80. It's a little tiny
in New
entrance.
Jersey.
You
we
got
have
it.
an audience in many states.
You got it. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's a little tiny exit to the home of the Armaments Center. We are the home of cannon artillery for the entire Department of Defense. If it comes out of a gun, it's our problem. Whether it's coming towards you or we're shooting it towards somebody, it's our issue.
But the whole thing, and our friend Josh Weston, who is a big fan, and by the way, he's one of the big fans of public broadcasting on our board as well, but also a big fan of Picatinny Arsenal and the work you're doing in STEM. But I was trying to figure out, I'm going to be clear on this, the ARDEC STEM program currently has over 400 New Jersey classrooms, thousands of students, teachers, parents, administrators, intended to do what?
Our mission objective is very simple. We want to educate students, teachers, parents, and administrators regarding a career in STEM. The idea is that we in the Army, we in the Department of Defense, we in our nation, we need kids, young individuals, to pursue STEM education.
Are not enough doing it now?
Not enough. We are on a deficit. We desperately need more. We live in New Jersey. It's the home of STEM. People don't realize that most of what we take for granted today, be it Thomas Edison to Nikola Tesla to all the pharmaceuticals, came from New Jersey. And the fact that New Jersey is running low on STEM students is kind of strange. So the idea is to educate students regarding what it means to be a scientist, what it means to be an engineer, and maybe they'll consider it as a career choice, as an opportunity to not only better themselves, but better our society.
How do you get them excited about it? Give us something, for instance, as to how you actually do that.
The number one tool I have at my disposal are my scientists and engineers. At Picatinny, I've got 3,000 of the world's best scientists and engineers. And we deploy these people, men and women of incredible intellect, into the classroom to work with the teachers. And they answer the age-old question that every student since Aristotle had. When am I ever going to use this? When am I ever going to use trigonometry? When am I going to use physics? When am I ever going to need to learn how to write a coherent sentence?
Yeah.
And my engineers and scientists will go in and answer the question. Well, kids, this is my job. My job is trigonometry. I use trig to determine GPS coordinates. I use physics, it's projectile motion. I use language arts. If I'm incapable of speaking and writing coherently, how can I ever communicate my thoughts as a scientist or an engineer to my fellow man? And that's my most powerful tool I deploy.
But you also do something else. I'm going to show some video. You weren't thinking this, but the pumpkin slinging contest. Is it a contest?
Yeah, it was an honest-to-goodness pumpkin slinging contest at Picatinny Arsenal.
So hold on. So what does this have to do with STEM, Shah? I don't get this. Pumpkins are being slung.
Well,
whoa!
Picatinny Arsenal is the home of cannon artillery.
Okay.
Good old cannons. You know, everything from Napoleon to a current M777. That's where it comes from. And the organization gave us a call and said they were looking for a place to run a competition. And we had to say yes. So we worked with an organization locally to set up a pumpkin slinging contest. And it was perfect. The home of cannon artillery hosted pumpkin slinging.
What kind of reaction did you get from the students?
Oh, they were blown away. Not only were they firing their pumpkins in the Picatinny Lake, which was a blast, they got to see some of the latest and greatest technology on the ground. Most students don't see large weaponry, be it tanks, armored personnel carriers, or artillery pieces like the M777 or the M119. So they got to see exactly where the progression of what they're learning goes from. It goes from learning the kinematics of throwing a pumpkin, in this case about 300 meters, to throwing a 103-pound projectile 30 kilometers. So they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And okay, not all of them will want to become weapons system experts, but if enough of them start studying engineering and science and they go into something else, I'll take the next Elon Musk. I'll take the next great idea if I come close to it.
When did you know that you were fascinated by science and technology? Were you a kid?
Yes, sir, I was. It was in Iran. I was born in Iran in 1977. My grandfather, who is my hero, owned a repair place.
In Iran?
Yeah, yeah. He owned a projector repair studio where they repaired the projectors for the movie theaters. And he was an engineer for Langley Motors, Land Rovers, and he transferred into movies. And he would bring me into his shop, and he would show me how they would fix these machines.
Wow.
And these things were massive. They were gorgeous. They were like cathedrals. And he taught me how things went together, and that every machine has got a soul. And it was very cool. And
You were hooked.
Hooked from the beginning. He did want to kill me after I took apart one machine completely and didn't know how to put it back together. But he forgave me, thank God. And I became an engineer, and he was very proud of that.
It's so interesting. We were actually, one of our academic partners, the New Jersey Institute of Technology, we actually have an innovation series we're going to be starting with them down the road. Academic institutions of higher learning play a critical role in this regard, do they not?
Yes, sir, they do. We set up the kids K through 12. We would do our best to get our engineers and scientists in. We speak to the kids, we get them excited. The big issue that we've noticed is a lot of kids and parents are confused. They don't realize how rich New Jersey is in respect to all its great universities. They keep thinking they got to send their kids off to MIT.
Got to do that, right?
Yeah,
Not
you got to
really
go
true.
to. Yeah, you don't need MIT. Don't get me wrong; it's a great school. You don't need Caltech; it's a good school. But you have
Lots of great
Rutgers.
places.
You have. Rutgers is an amazing university. You have Stevens, which has done amazing things. NJIT has changed the world in so many ways, and it's become an issue that we love sending our engineers and scientists who graduated locally to tell the kids, you can stay local, you can get an amazing education, and you can work local.
Listen, this whole STEM initiative, people say, hey, listen, haven't we talked about it enough? Our argument is there are students who have not been introduced, who have not been turned on. There are still opportunities. There is a need, so we have a responsibility to keep talking about it. And Shah, you've helped us tremendously. Shah Dabiri, STEM Technology Manager, United States Army Armament Research Development Engineering Center at Picatinny Arsenal. Thanks so much, Shah. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Stay right there. We'll be right
you.
back right after this on One on One.
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One on One with Steve Adubato has been provided by TD Bank, the New Jersey Education Association, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Create, the Give Something Back Foundation, Adler Aphasia Center, and by the North Ward Center. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One on One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.